So this video is how I plan to make money. This is such a weird topic for me to talk about because I feel like money is so taboo. For those who don't know, I moved out of my parents' home at 17 to LA just by making content. And that whole journey was a lot of spreadsheets, financial planning, and I wanted to share exactly how I did that and how I still use those strategies today in my business. I'll also go over how I got out of financial problems. I think it's important to understand why you're making money. I know this is pretty obvious. A lot of you guys are like, Jade, what the fuck? Like, I just want to live in a content house in LA. But I think the reality is a lot of people just want to make money to prove that they're winning to someone. And I felt this for a long time and still do. Sometimes I have a goal to make money, not to just buy things, but to buy something to make people think I'm successful, to make sure I have validation of others. And I don't know, like, I feel like it can be a slippery slope of doing it for yourself and then doing it for others. So I think it's just so important to understand why you, just you, want to make money. My answer is I love telling stories and working with creative people. So I want to make money so I can live my life in California and pay my team that works in my company. I just love working with creative people. That's why I have a videographer and editor, just because it's my favorite thing to do. So money is fuel for me to do these things. But before, if you asked me last year, I would probably just want to make money just to be cool with my friends that are millionaires, right? So I think it's just so important to understand that because it will save you so much headache, because there's going to be a time where you don't ever feel successful enough because you're trying to make money for someone else. When you look at this artist and they're painting the painting, right? Do you think when they're like 50% done with their painting, like that they're not a good artist, right? Or do you think, no, they're just 50% of the way there to their final artwork? When Picasso finishes the art, then you see the masterpiece and you're like, wow, he's so successful and rich. But before the artist even picks up a painting brush, he still has value, right? You have to see that as yourself. You are someone that has potential. It's just a matter of time. It's almost kind of like my dad used to call this, like betting on future truths. Like maybe the truth is you're a broke ass bitch, but the future, you believe that you're not going to be a broke ass bitch. So you have to believe in yourself, first of all, that you're full of potential, you are successful already, it's just a matter of time. The second mindset I feel like to be a bad bitch and make money is you have to understand that money is just exchanging value. Like when you really fundamentally understand that money is just an exchange of, you know, you're having something valuable and someone pays you for that value. You understand that every day when you wake up, you have a choice of how much value you want to bring to the world. Like it's such a weird thing to think about, but like say you're really fucking good at cooking, right? How do you just take your $10 bread bowl and make it more valuable? Like that's, as an entrepreneur, what you think about every single day. How do I reach more customers by making more bread bowls? Or how do I make my bread bowl more premium so people price it at $20? So I think it's really important to understand that when you frame your reference of how do I increase my value instead of how to make money, you actually now have a better reference. So you focus on creating value for people versus just chasing a dollar amount. Ways you can increase your value as someone that's a content creator is A, reaching more people. When you reach more people, you increase your value because more people have eyes and attention on you, which attention is a scarce resource. The second way to increase more value is building deeper connections. So say maybe you don't have a big enough audience on social media, but you have a close connection with your fans. That's so valuable. Trust is value. The third thing that you can do to increase your value is solve a huge problem. This is really good if you have a service-based company and you're solving a problem for someone. So say you're a freelancer and you're solving a problem, which is fixing shitty web designs. You know, as a freelance web designer, you fix that huge problem and you get money because that's valuable. And the fourth thing that I would have to say in terms of this value thing is you can also solve problems that are super niche. Maybe they don't have to be a big problem, but only like 5 people in the world have this problem and you have the cure for this. That is hella value. This is a good example in the medical field, especially for certain health conditions. Like if you know a lot about a certain subject, people pay premium for it. So I hope that gives you an idea of like how you can increase your value with these kind of 4 ideas. Personally for me, because I'm a content creator and I own a media agency, I reach more people, but I also solve big problems that companies have with advertising. So those are the things I really focus on, but for you, it can differ. And these are just things to keep in mind. And literally, if you just focus on those things, you will make more money. Because you might not always hit those really great months, but then you're mentally prepared for it. So I really believe that when you're planning your month goal, you want to quantify the time hours. So when you look at your week, you only have to think about not making, you know, $500 a month. You just have to think about posting twice a week and getting 2 coaching calls a month. You can apply this to anything. If you're selling a sock and you have to sell 20 socks to get, you know, $100, you can just focus on selling 20 socks, not the money. Do you see why I really emphasize on making value, not money? Because then you only focus on the act of doing it versus the outcome. For my daily goal, I ask myself, what are 3 things I can do today to achieve my 1 week goal? All I do is just focus on those 3 things. So you can say I take my big goal, make it into a smaller monthly goal, to make it a weekly goal, to make it into a daily goal. Honestly, this whole strategy should just be called Russian nesting doll strategy, because you basically just take the bigger doll and make smaller dolls, and then you get to your daily doll. Every single day I wake up and I think my day doesn't matter. I feel like I have this big goal and I can never achieve it. But then when you do daily goals successfully over the course of a year, your chances of success are so much more likely than just grinding out for a week and then burning out. And it's just really about these small goals that are so important, and every single day really does matter. Understand, I know the personal finance on YouTube world can get really tricky. You have to understand what you want, what type of life you want. That's why I kept asking you, what do you want to do with this money at the very beginning of the video? Because if you want to become a fucking real estate tycoon, then do it. But if you just want to travel and live your life, you don't have to do all these things. You don't have to invest in real estate. You don't have to invest in Bitcoin. You can invest into yourself. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, because yourself is the most valuable thing. It's the most valuable vehicle to your business, to your identity. So understand that you don't have to invest in GMC if you don't want to, okay? The last tip I have is please, please, please do yourself a favor and don't just set professional goals all the time. Set your 3 professional goals daily, right? Like I said, but also set your 3 personal goals. When you're at a different caliber, when you're working so hard, your body just needs more self-care. You don't know why, but I realize you are the most important asset in your business. You are the most important, valuable person. So you have to treat yourself that way. Even if you don't have money, act like a fucking rich ass bitch, because treating yourself can only give you ROI. If you have an issue with loving yourself like I do, my biggest tip is just to make 3 goals every single day for your personal self and start with that. You don't have to go buy a trip to Hawaii. You could just start with, like, I'm gonna eat really good food, I'm gonna go on a walk and spend time with myself. And that right there is a game changer.